Hello everyone, welcome back to Esoteric Ebb. We're talking with Magistrate Darrow about the tea shop explosion, about everything that happened there, and hopefully we are going to get some more information from him regarding this particular situation and also about the city itself and everything that's happening around the place. So let's keep on talking and let's try to not get him too agitated with how we usually tend to respond to questions or even start them ourselves. I saw your daughter down on Pillar Crossing before. Was it his daughter, not wife? I was sure it was his wife. I'm super confused right now because everything I was doing with this kind of like idea that it was actually his wife. So if it's not, then well, it's still terrible, right? Daughter might be actually even worse now that I think about it. Let's see. Freydis, I assume. You got more than one. He takes some time to answer the question as if pondering his situations grimly. I do, but I wouldn't worry about it. She's smart and capable. He rolls his eyes, and I wouldn't be able to lock her in even if I tried. She's got an adventurous spirit, that girl. She'll either become a politician or a Far Isles pirate at this rate. Like Emmy Veivila or one of those catfolk marauders. He laughs. But thanks for letting me know. I actually didn't say anything, right? I just asked the questions. You got more than one. I saw. Oh no, we did say that we saw her on Pillar Crossing before, but we didn't hint on that being a problem. Well, let's see. So you're the coin lord is another question we can ask. And we're gonna do just so. For now, post-election I might end up on a very long vacation. Is that angel your bodyguard or something? More or less. Etyr is a high prefect. Every magistrate gets the highest tier of protection available. She's not much of a talker, but I can't say I dislike it. She's lovely. She's a lovely person, lovely guard. The eyes are particularly striking, I'd say. You hear that, Etyr? Darrow calls out down the stairs. Yes, magistrate, she replies coldly from below. The magistrate shakes his head. Urf be good. How's the election going? We're winning. His voice is not cheerful. You're not happy about it? He scoffs. We've got a third of the populace. A third! That means we've already lost the goodwill of a large portion of the human population, according to the latest polls. The campaign is half failure. It will get us over the finishing line at the very least. The campaign? The national campaign, aimed at reigniting the spirit of Earth in his folk. A great movement. Of course, strength is, in it, to win it. It's been 70 years since the reconquest. Let us celebrate the victory. The fancy man feigns a cheer. An attempt to make the masses worship the state instead of their dead god. You'd argue it was quite successful. Before this campaign, humans were kind of lost. Now they have a purpose. He sighs. You have read Lexandro, I assume? So yes, it will make you look smart. We actually did read something of his, right? I remember reading it. I found a copy of it down below in the collection of Halfling Scholar, but I've read it many times before, obviously. He waves his hand. Of course. But you'd be surprised. Not every cleric is as well read as you would imagine. We followed his teachings when building this campaign. A campaign to bridge the gap between a follower of Earth and a citizen of Norvik. You want people to worship the state. More or less. What's your problem with Asgalists? You're kidding. He laughs. They've infiltrated every guild. Their rally circus causes new riots wherever they gather up. They're disrupting the economy. When the agrarian party fell apart, we almost had a famine in our hands. Oh, well, he corrects himself straight away. Famine is a bit of an exaggeration, but they did practically ruin our grain exports for an entire quarter. Else, we'd be better off with the Free Striders any day of the week. They at least uphold basic economic stability. What sort of chaos is the election brewing? All kinds. I have some other non-election questions. Good. I've talked enough about this damn election for a lifetime. What? No, the charm person is not gonna work for him. He has a ring. I was like, why is this like rainbowish? But yeah, that's because the charm person can be used. No way we're gonna do that. It's just gonna. It's probably gonna also. Yeah, because charm person also lets people in the end know that you tried to use it. So also probably that's why his daughter wasn't affected, right? Because she wasn't, right? She wasn't. I think so. Maybe she also has a ring. Or maybe we're just bad at stuff. That's also possible. If the goblins hadn't pushed for it, would you have sent for me? The posh man looks you up and down. No, I don't think I would have. Honesty. He's not talking around. It means he doesn't see you as a threat. Well, that's quite possibly because I might not be a threat at this point. Although I am a unknown variable, right? I can be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm the agent of chaos, basically. I would be at least a little bit wary of me. They really should have sent someone with more experience for this. He snorts. I'm afraid your being here is a bit of a perfect storm. We needed someone with the abilities, but without any direct ties to the campaign. He leans back. Did you know every higher class cleric in the city is actually a devoted member of the Nationalist Party? Higher class? That's probably lingo for anyone above petty officer. Except you, apparently. Because of your history. I don't mean to pry, but I do wonder. Why? I don't mean to pry, then proceeds to pry. I love this guy. Don't tell him the truth. Anything but the truth. The truth will set you free. I was arrested during an Asgal rally once, so they wouldn't let me join. I think they're intimidated by me. I'm a failure and a disappointment, my lord. I think they're intimidated by me. He smirks. He's trying desperately not to laugh at you. Let them freaking laugh. Let them laugh. We'll see who's gonna have the last laugh, though. It's probably not gonna be me. Maybe it's gonna be Snell. Who knows? What's my actual job here? Your actual job is to do what I ask of you. He's getting tired of this. Look around the rubble, ask around for witnesses or evidence. I want you to keep the goblins happy. Do that and I'll be happy. I need access to the tea shop. Gulp. He mutters. His eyes, he's thinking of making a choice. Now's the time to convince him. Be careful. The goblins are not the only ones with eyes on a scorched tea shop. In fact, I have been advised to simply ignore the whole thing. To just let it go. That would be a sound choice if the goal is to avoid a political fallout. Slang for negative consequences. Politically, that could be wise. Perhaps. That would be foolish. Politically, that could be wise. True. We won't gain votes by any of this, however. Sageleaf is insistent. He sighs and looks out the window. I'm in a difficult position, Cleric. Do make it easier for me, will you? How do I do that, my lord? He speaks with a projected voice and says, I want to be able to trust you. He interrupts you, continuing, trust that you'll be able to keep this on the down low. That if anything unseemly were to be uncovered, you'd of course keep such things from non-city affiliated factions. The Coin Lord speaks with a speed you're barely able to follow. Do you understand? Not a question, a demand. If a city-affiliated actor caused the explosion that this Coin Lord is down for, of course he's going to be careful. Your lord demands obedience. You must answer. He's trying to steamroll me, right? Yep. He's really manhandling you. It's hilarious. There's nothing to steamroll. You're his servant, nothing else. You gotta catch up. No, just accept it. Oh my god, dexterity. You wore the helmet that takes balls. Great. I have an advantage against bureaucrats, but this is DC 15 and I have -2. Do we want to try this? There is, a chance. We have advantage. We could roll, technically. We could have a luck. We had really bad rolls before that. It's, we're gonna try it. I am gonna try it. We're definitely gonna try it and see whether this is gonna be enough. I mean, enough, as in already having bad rolls behind us and having the advantage. No, that's not gonna be enough. That's gonna be absolutely not enough. You close your eyes. You listen now, you big buffoon, you. You've got approximately 1.5 seconds before this world mancer takes control of the conversation again. So it's time to shoot your shot. Shit, you can't think of anything, can you? Nope, did I think? Well, good luck to you. What do you mean? You're on your own now. You're not going to help out? Pfft, no way. This whole thing's fucked. So what do I say? No clue, but you've been standing here quiet for at least 30 seconds at this point. It's time for you to open your eyes. I guess I should. The magistrate is reading his newspaper. He has now lost all interest in serving your strange behavior. He glances up at you. Oh, you're finished. You started breathing funny, so I assumed you needed a moment. But it's fine, it's not like I'm busy or anything. He very much is. Anyway, about the tea shop. I need reassurance, Cleric. Reassurance that you won't oppose the official city narrative. Swear on it, Cleric. Breaking an oath is serious moral crime in this weird city, at least among your peers. Oath, a legal agreement, either spoken aloud or written down. Some oaths, especially those sworn on the names of deities, have real esoteric power over one's body and mind. They can also be broken, but at a great cost. Shit. I cannot. Fuck it. I cannot swear an oath. You cannot. I won't do it. I'm disappointed, Cleric. He seems a bit intrigued by your reluctance, but mostly annoyed. I simply cannot grant you access to the tea shop in that case. You'll have to find a way to tell Sageleaf you cannot perform your duty. Or find another way into the tea shop. I have some other questions first, actually. Oh, do you now? Okay, so the biggest consequence of this action is the fact that we're gonna just need to find a different way to get into the tea shop. That's the thing. Okay, I guess. I mean, it's kind of interesting. If I go to Sageleaf and tell her, hey, you know what? Darrow is not getting me an access inside, so I cannot do anything. Isn't she gonna put more pressure on Darrow then? Maybe it's gonna actually work into our favor. I'm not sure about it, to be honest, though. I'm ready to swear an oath. I think that's everything. No, I'm not gonna swear the oath. He leaves a moment of silence in the air as he glares at you. You're really ready to go at this alone, Cleric? You are aware that I will not grant you access to that tea shop. I am aware. So how do you intend to solve this, then? I'll find a way. Interesting. Okay, then. Good luck out there, Cleric. Thank you for your time, my lord. I'm gonna be at least, elegant about it. What's that, though? What's that? A whale of many colors. I wanna see that. Painted onto the ancient stone blocks, colorful imagery rises over you. It's faded, near gone. It's beautiful. The first folk, Urf, spoke about preserving the ancient murals of the city he conquered. What is this, some kind of whale? A mural of some ancient civilization, Fade era most likely. A period lasting approximately 1111 years, if you trust modern scholars. The second era, known as the Fall era, named after the slow decline following Yor shutting his gates, ended around 1,000 years ago. These ancient towers around Tolstad must have been covered in such paint long ago. This building has kept the murals safe over the years. The risks have been stripped off completely by the harsh Ascani wind. It is actually beautiful in my opinion, truly. The figure on the wall stares at you. I'm gonna leave it alone, although I feel like there's something there. Can I use Druidcraft to see whatever is happening here? Maybe I'm gonna see something more. If I use it, it's beautiful. No, okay. Cannot do much about that. Can I do something about the angel, though? She stands tall, she's blocking the hallway. She looks like a giant, yeah. Darrow letting me stay in your tower. The spinning, I stop for a moment. Uh-oh. I am aware. Are you okay with that? She's silent for a bit. The magistrate has ordered it. I'm not taking your bed, am I? I do not sleep, Cleric. Don't say weird. I'm not gonna say weird. I'm not gonna be mean to her for no reason, but... so that's why I gesture towards her face. She bows her head slowly but does not respond. Do I get the tower all to myself? No. She doesn't mean your roommates exactly. Sounds cozy. The angel appears to sigh. Made me cry. You realize she does not breathe such interesting biology. A truly esoteric creature. I'll be going to the guard tower then. There is a bedroll on the upper floor. Do not touch anything. Listen to her. Obey. Let's just also talk with her about the magistrate. I spoke with them. She nods. Be finished with your business here. The magistrate will not have time again, Cleric. Okay. Well, maybe he will. Like, I mean, can we just come and swear an oath after some time that we spent trying to find, some way to fix the situation without... What is that, though? Can we, climb it? The magistrate's apple tree is bracken. Can we engage with it, though? A branch from the majestic apple tree in the magistrate's yard, a sign of humanity's greatest ability to grow and nurture the natural world. This tree was most likely a gift from Lady Sageleaf. We could climb the branches. I have no idea why we should do that. Seen anything suspicious lately? The tree does not respond. Goodbye, tree. Wonder if I do that, is anything gonna change? If I use the druid craft? How do I reach those apples on the roof? You'd have to use Mage Hand, of course. In order to procure, make sure to dive through every source of esoteric knowledge you can find on this forsaken island fortress. Do not bother, just climb up, it's easy. Okay, I'm not gonna climb it up. Not at midnight, okay? I'm just gonna enter this tower. And I'm gonna maybe even rest. It's already midnight. Maybe we're gonna get at least some hours of sleep. So she said to not touch anything. And we are kind of taking her bed, it seems. The tower is not that big. And I'm so gonna, like, check all the stuff. A pile of ledgers covered in official city seals. You look over a thick pile of documents, each adorned with the symbol of a fish. Official city documents could contain useful information. Top secret documents archived by city clerics over many years. You have the right to look over it. I'm gonna flip through it then. The documents are not very organized. However, as your eyes glance over titles, reports and statements made over decades, you do find a few that catch your attention. Sweeping your gaze over the pile, you very much realize how fast you'd have to be to get this done in a decent amount of time. Looking for an official palace seal, you find a note with the sentence "Sage leaf must be contained within." Okay. Yeah, sage leaf is probably a thorn in their side, that's for sure. They would... the officials probably would be so much happier if she wasn't here to guard the interests of goblins and such. The older files. Focus on the oldest. That's where you'll find interesting perspectives. Obviously, just look for any mention of the tea shop. However, be careful. Each attempt to analyze the document will take time out of your day. Oh my god, this takes a lot of time. I don't think I can do it right now. It's like, I don't know at what time is gonna be the cutoff time, or some kinds of like, we are exhausted beyond measure. I'm not gonna do it first. I'm gonna do it tomorrow if I can. If I cannot, that's gonna be sad, but we'll deal with that. Anyway, there are some stuff here as well. Pile of books on the topic of theology and history. Can we engage with them? This is probably also gonna take time, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we should go to sleep. Unless there is something we can do like immediately. Copper calendar, for example. On the wall you see a classic copper calendar. Most households in Norvik have one. Your mom had one that would glow on birthdays. It's spinning ever so slowly. The other wheel moves one full step every day. The middle wheel moves every month, and the inner moves every year. This one seems special. It keeps track of both the seasons of Ascan, Ritz, and Vurgeni, as well as all major Urfolk holidays. Each band has its own rules for the changing seasons. On the specific days, the weather is supposed to change drastically and immediately, but you have not experienced such a switch in your lifetime. Interesting. What day is it? Yeah, the other wheel tells you it's March 22nd. When's the election? In 5 days. What's the current month? March? Well, wait, the calendar's middle wheel is showing March as the current month. That's the 3rd month. It is? Well done! Okay. I'm so happy that we randomly get this kind of options to test our intelligence. What year does it say it is? The inner wheel is very still on the piece of copper saying 27 post-war. It's always been easy to keep track of how old are you, thanks to that. Who decides when a new era begins? Your. Magically attuned items and timekeeping spells will keep time in regards to the eras which shift for reasons beyond anyone's understanding. Anyone's but yours, most likely. So one day, all the timekeeping spells just magically shift to show a new era? Yes. Cool. It is. Since the era is just as old as I am, does that mean I'm the chosen one? No. It is entirely an unremarkable coincidence. Maybe in your heart. At least in the heart we are the chosen ones, okay? And who decides on the names of the eras? The eras have no objective names. They are chosen by each culture differently. In Norvik, the common era type is to simply follow the Ritzian common structure, which is Gate era 3000 years, Fade era 1100 years, Divine era 379 years, Arcane era 511 years, Post-War era 27 years ongoing. Fade era, the second out of 5 eras when Yor went silent and the ancient terrors were slowly replaced by those in charge today. This is when humans first arrived, for example. We are the new terrors, I guess. Gate era was the earliest era, right? Yes, from the creation of the coast by Yor to the closing of the gates at the end of the Gate War. Fade era was the time when all the ancient creatures died. more or less. It was the era when the powerful creatures trapped after the gates shut struggled for dominion while losing connection with their outer gods. And those are actual gods, those who invaded the coast during the Gate War. They hold no dominion on Yor's realm since the gates closed, but the most common consensus among scholars is all walking gods are simply avatars of these real outer ones. This was an era of giants, genies, dragons, and great aberrations. Divine era is a short one, that's the feudal era, right? Indeed, while short in comparison, almost 4 centuries is a long time in times of great change. This was when mortal walking gods ruled the coast, when great kingdoms rose and great empires conquered vast lands. Or, as you say, feudalism and barbaric governments. Arcane era was a bit longer, that's when the Arcanists rose and fell, right? It was an era marked by men's power and corruption, when God's influence waned in juxtaposition with the might of the esoteric. And the post-war era has just begun. We will see how long it lasts. It will most likely not see its end. Well, good to know. Seasons. You see the months and seasons marked into the copper plate. Gorgoni is Virgini summer, Felteni Rician spring, March Virgini autumn, Beltan Ascani spring, and so on. There's a lot of different kind of springs, winters, and stuff happening. And I don't think this is in particular something we need to remember in any way, but my birthday is on the 13th of Kronos. It is! And again, it's so happy. I mean, he's so happy actually. Look at him, he's so happy. He's so happy. It only mentions 3 of the bands. What about the rest? A list of all 8 bands would be excessive. You saw a true season calendar once. It was in the palace long hall. The great wheels turned by use of some ancient esoteric force, and every band had its season marked clearly on the glowing plates. It was a glorious magic item. Do I have to keep track of this? It would be ridiculous for grown men to not know the names of the months. Don't worry, no one will ask you to remember the months. Thank God. Every band season shift on a different day. That's confusing. It is. But don't worry, you have never left Ascan in your life, and you never will. Okay, good, neat, awesome. Check out holidays. You look at the various holidays marked into the copper plate. Urf's Passing, Fast of Tuk, Great Migration, Blood Night, Seven Silence, River and Giant's Crown. Well, there's a lot of all kinds of... Actually, I need to get a drink. All kinds of holidays. Look at the marking that says Founding of Norvik. The calendar says 461 Arcane. The Arcane era was 511 years. Since it's currently the 27th year of the post-war era, that means Norvik was founded 77 years ago. It probably will not reach 100. Don't say that! Don't ever say that! Urf City will live for 1,000 years, you blue knave! Keep telling yourself that. If the Arcanists could not reach more than half a millennia, the city has no chance in all the hells. That you feel is guaranteed. Okay, that's all with the calendar. There is a little chest right here. It's high above. Can I grab? It's too far away. Oh. Glorious shrine to the one and only Urf. That's cool. We can of course pray. So that's great. And tranquility. We can contemplate Coin Lord of Norvik. A powerful man with much to lose. If he fails his grip, there is no reason to appease him. If he retains it, you are wise to stay his ire. Contemplate the golden line, a land cut in two. Your neighbors, the halflings, speak with them, learn their stories. Pass judgment if you so wish, they do not care. The gold always shines in the end. Star Witness. One strange detail, a fake name, a man in yellow, follow the trail, yeah. Troublesome activists, they are young and brash, you've been there. But both sides want what's best for their city. Perhaps that is the solution? And druidism, we're gonna contemplate that as well. The Undercoast Elf is a good woman. She holds many natural friends in this unnatural place. If you wish to seek the green path, then be nice to her and her friends. Perhaps one day you will join her. I don't know about joining her, but it's good to, you know, have all of that in mind. Now, let's prepare spells. We can still prepare all of them. I think that's the thing, right? I wonder if we can always prepare all of them. But right now we got the grease as well here, so that's good. I wonder how we could reach that other place, that chest. Would be great if we could. But there's literally no way of doing that unless maybe we can use some Oh, if we had Mage Hand, right? If we found Mage Hand somewhere, we probably could grab this chest from there. Sadly, we do not have Mage Hand, and we cannot like just stack the boxes or something to reach that. I mean, in real life, probably we could even stand on the books, but not in this case. Let's finally try to sleep. A fine place to sleep, relatively speaking. I'm gonna engage with the bed. Hopefully, this is gonna go well. There it goes. The first day on the job. Before you lies a bedroll. Can I go to sleep now? Yes, your body is weary. Why do I have to sleep? If you stay awake for more than 48 hours, your body will cease to function in its current state, which is not good for your physical health. You should go to bed now. Taking a long rest restores your hit points, hit dice, lower your exhaustion to 0, and returns your spent spell slots. I don't know about tracking the exhaustion, whether it's where it is actually being tracked. I don't see it, to be honest. But I believe that we will be soon approaching some kind of exhaustion level. Anyway, no, really, what is this thing? It's a bed. It doesn't look like a bed. Leather-bound and filled with ox clippings. Most likely bubble yarn. Somewhat soft. A bedroll. I see. Like one of those things adventurers use when sleeping on journey. Yes. A real man can sleep anywhere, including this ragged piece of rag. At least there's no snoring here. Remember the barracks? You hear only wind here, and the occasional giant seagull call. A native Ascani bird, opportunistic feeder upon the coast. Seldom aggressive, that's the important stuff. It will be a good place to rest. Okay, we're gonna take a long rest then. Finally. After all this time, the cleric... We've spent so much time doing all kinds of things. Staying within the confines of the guard tower, you successfully spent 8 hours on your long rest. Thank God we weren't interrupted or anything. No need to roll any encounters, you've had enough for one adventuring day. Now, let's see. And sorry about letting you stumble into the city below. I'm just surprised you made it out alive. Well, technically we didn't, kind of, right? But now it's time to deal with the main quest. The tea shop awaits. Well, interestingly enough, they kind of assume that she's here. So that's gonna be it when it comes to reading stuff. Probably should have read stuff yesterday. Fuck! But that's already gone. The opportunity was there. We didn't. We weren't able to capitalize on it. But I kind of, we were tired already, right? Your muscles strain as the second day begins. Today you need to gather more evidence. This mystery will not solve itself. I fell asleep quickly for once. Because you are and were exhausted. I'm not feeling too good. More sleep would help. Perhaps tomorrow. I have the weirdest dreams. Do you? The stress of a new job. Get yourself together. New city, new tower, new bedroll, newish. You'll be a little scatterbrained. Brained would be bad. Brained is what I wanted to say. It is what it is. Question. Who cares if I actually complete this mission or not? Your patriarch, for one. There are rumors that the Low Lord is putting a lot of pressure on your superiors. Magistrate handling judiciary rulings, stockades, archiving, culture, the Earth Guard, as well as anything esoteric, currently held by Sventil Alemikan. One of the last Earthfolk houses to arrive after the founding of Norvik. They originally went east during the Coast War, but a handful of them survived and fled to Norvik with several arcanist artifacts. Today, they are highly revered in the city, the third Lord Patriarch Hagar having been of their bloodline. Yes, Alemikan has been very thorough in his management of the Earthguard as of late, in preparation for this foolish election. If you cause trouble, if you don't handle this, there will be trouble, even more so than last time. You just didn't handle it with style, next time will be different. Somehow you doubt that, through simple pattern recognition. Well, let's start our day then, although I probably am not gonna be able to, it's not even like I cannot even click on it. However, I still think we could do some things, and by that I mean those books. There are several things that we can read here, but I think those are just random books about lore. You open it hoping for interesting tale on coastal travel. Instead, you are immediately met by a pop-up travel guide. Oh no. It's written by the famous freestrider Meriadoc Moonwatch, a trade prince of the Free City. It is a famous family of revolutionaries in Reeds, They were one of the few powerful houses that managed to brand themselves as non-magocrats and were thus both spared and in some sense revered. The introduction is styled as a personal note to the reader. Moonwatch uses a very casual language to convince you of his expertise. It's also filled with Free Strider propaganda. At least this helps spread Free Striderism across the coast. Yeah. You're no longer Arcanist. Instead, you're now a Free Strider. Gained 100 XP for changing your political stance. That's something. So I should close it. Yeah, it might be for the best. Okay, we got some XP for that, at least. There's Humans, A Brief History by SGH Team Alemican. Lowlord, right? Is marked as official goods of Bronze Banner University. It was printed here in Norvik on the last year of the Arcane Era. This university is the largest public scholarly facility in Norvik, supported by the state, and often the location of political upheaval these days. That is 28 years ago. Don't I know this history already? The book does not have an opinion. We're gonna skim through it. The story of humans entering Yor, along with various origins that have been discovered. Most humans who arrived in Old Diminor came as dragon servants during the later stages of Fade Era, although the book also goes into the modern refocus on attempting to avoid the clear anti-dragon biases that infused all historical documents on the topic. Humans were brought to Yor from various outer worlds as workers, fodder, soldiers, and worshippers. Some were made to live in glorified internment camps, some lived as loyal subjects in royal halls. The stories of early human existence on Yor are as varied as those of today. We were slaves, yes, but each dragon was a different master. Oh, so we have this kind of history with dragons. Okay. It then spends a full chapter going over the draconic civil war during the Divine Era and the resulting rise of Duke Dulindim, a first human emperor on the coast, known as the Drake Slayer King due to his slaying of several dragons and liberating their human slaves. Some call him Drake Doom Dealer Dag Dulindim, most do not. The lair of a leech. Okay, interesting. Skip ahead. You arrive at the coast war. Its destructive quality impacted human civilization as much as it did the coast itself. In short, as the Arcanist rose to ever greater power, humans journey into Old Diminor during the Great Consolidation, an offer of power and wealth to all men. And even the Great Consolidation is an event that took place during the mid-Arcane Era and lasted approximately 50 years. Arcanists in need of more manpower organized mass immigrations from all corners of the coast. All humans of any origin were invited to join the various great magocratic cities. At its end, approximately 90% of all humans were wiped out. Only a few clusters of offshoot communities survived the onslaught. The book contains a solemn list of those human cultures that were fully destroyed in various curses, void bombs, and intra-human genocides. I'm gonna move on after staring on the list. In its final chapters, the book switches topic to instead focus on the various humans who are still identified as unique phenotypes within the human folk type. Some smaller groups across the coast have no clear lineage to draconic slavery, but whether that is due to some other origin is unknown. Those who survived the coast war. Damn, this is like a lot of chapters. I honestly... Japanese? Just straight up Japanese? Almost mythical human peoples of the secretive realm of Im, the so-called Japanese, have been a popular topic of fiction since their discovery in the early mid-Arcane Era. Japanese, the mysterious human people of Im, who live in an isolated kingdom upon greater plateaus deep inland. You too were swept up in a samurai phase during your early years. The book explains how rare it is to see one of their fabled ambassadors travel across the coast. But so far, due to the magically isolated nature of their kingdom, not much is known of their nature. Well, that is a lot of chapters to read. I'm not sure I wanna do that, honestly. And I think I'm done here, actually, for now. I know that I'm not gonna get as much exp for that as I possibly could, but still... My friends, this is gonna be it for this episode. I hope you had fun, and if you did, I would love if I can speak. It's good that we are ending the episode here because I would be absolutely unable to continue talking, it seems. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to do that. That would mean a lot to me, and we'll hear each other in the next episode. Take care and cheers.